So the next thing I want to do here is show you how to make a chamfer on the part where there isn't one drawn in the drawing. And so we usually call this an edge break operation, and it's just to eliminate sharp edges on the corners of the part here. And so right now I'm looking at the top of the island, the boss that we had here. And what we're going to do is just select the chain that defines that island. And so on mine it was inside the island feature here. Island 11 is the chain. But just to select the chain that defines the top of that island. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to make our contouring operation. And again, we're going to do that with the 3/8 inch chamfer mill. That's the one that we redefined in that last operation. We're going to go to our strategy tab here, and again it will remember all of the things that you had selected with that last operation, but in our last operation it automatically knew what the right depth was, and we had our stock allowance set to 0. And so what I want to do is I actually want to make a total depth of 20 thousandths of an inch, or we could change that to 10 thousandths of an inch because we're just knocking off the sharp edge there. So let's change that to 10 thousandths of an inch. Put our stock allowance at 0, and then make sure that the stock automation is turned off. For this operation, we definitely need the stock automation to be turned off, and then all the rest of the default settings we can just go with. And you should go ahead and create this. Okay, so it creates our cutting operation here, and you can see that it drew a toolpath that went around the part. And if you zoom in like this when you simulate that, and again I just want to simulate this operation. We've already got it set to remember our saved state. We're going to simulate from that saved state. So I'm going to go ahead and click run here, or I'm going to step through the simulation. And so the tool comes down, oops, and it comes over, and if I go to the right hand view now and then zoom back in, so the tool has come into the cutting orientation, the cutting place here. We'll go ahead and click play and let it go the rest of the way around, and you see that it goes around, and it's as if the tool is just barely touching the part, but it doesn't really make a chamfer. And the reason for that is because it knows the geometry of the tool and it knows where that chain is. So as we change the depth, the tool will continue to step out and out as much as we've gone down. So I'm going to go ahead and edit that operation. And so our total depth is 10 thousandths. Let's have a stock allowance of negative 10 thousandths. 0 stock allowance on the floor. So total depth 10 thousandths, stock allowance negative 10 thousandths. Click OK, and then simulate that operation again. And so now as the tool comes in, you can see that it makes contact and goes around the part. And so if we had a depth of 20 thousandths and a stock allowance of negative 20 thousandths, we could make a 20 thousandths chamfer on this part. But what it does there is it knocks off that edge of the part.